Universe, what is happening? My name is Zed. If you didn't know that already, that's why the title says NBZ versus person, and this game is against someone who is called Spotlistshows, and it's a UU game from a little while ago, like maybe a few months, and it was okay, and it involved me having to use some tactics that I usually wouldn't want to, but given the situation, kinda had to, and yeah, we'll see how that goes down. So I have a pretty terrible lead-off matchup here. Roserade doesn't want to stay in against Azelf. Obviously, Psychic is a problem. Stealth Rock is also something that he could potentially do, but I'm thinking he's going to want to get rid of Roserade from the offset. It's a real big threat in UU, and it's definitely good to get that thing out of the way. So I'm going to predict the Psychic very nicely, go to Registeel, and I see Life Orb, but I'm thinking, you know, if he is a Life Orb variant, he may carry Flamethrower, I don't know, or Fire Blast, and I'm kind of right, but I know that I can live one, and really, I didn't care too much for Registeel. I knew I could live a hit, and I knew I could get Stealth Rock out. Now, what I probably should have done here, instead of going for Stealth Rock straight off the bat, I should have Thunder Waved and then gone for the Stealth Rock, because it would have allowed me to get Azelf paralyzed and also been able to lay down my layers of Stealth Rock. But it's not really too much of a big deal, because he gets the opportunity, as he predicts my switch here, to go for his own rocks, and then he's going to U-turn out on Dusclops, knowing that I pretty much can't, you know, he can't do anything to me, essentially, so he's going to switch out, and he goes into Heracross, predicting me to go for the Will-O-Wisp, which he pretty much reads me like a book here, and I'm like, well, that was a terrible play, Zed. Why did you ever consider doing that in your life? And yeah, I kind of slapped myself across the face for doing that, because it was a pretty bad idea, but I know I can live a Night Slash, just because of the unstabbed nature of it, and I'm thinking I want to get as much damage on this Heracross as possible. Just do a Nightshade, see how much it'll do. Obviously it'll do 100, but I'm not sure how much, you know, HP Heracross has and stuff, so I just want to see what it'll look like, and go from there, really. So seeing that he's locked himself into Night Slash, this is an easy opportunity for me to switch in Registeel and block that hit very nicely. I know that he's most likely going to be a Scarf Heracross variant, which means that he won't be able to switch up his moves on this turn, and therefore will allow me to kill him with an S-Toss on the following turn, which is why he's going to switch out here, knowing that Night Slash won't be able to take me out, and he's going to go into Kingdra. Now, Kingdra is an interesting thing in UU. It does relatively well, setting up its own manual weather, and the Dragonlance set is relatively prevalent. I mean, people are carrying it on their OU teams just because Rain is so prevalent, but it still does really well in UU, and I guess he makes a slight over-prediction here as he goes for the Outrage as opposed to the Waterfall, and maybe even oh, I got something on, what the fuck, some, anyway, that was some fish in my mouth because I had fish and chips, and yeah, that was weird. What was I saying? Yeah, Kingdra, maybe he thought that Outrage would kill me, which is why he went for it, so there you go. Maybe that was his thought process there. Not really too sure, but it may have been. But at this point, Darmanitan is easily able to revenge it, so I'm just going to go for the U-turn right out there, kill the thing, potential hit on whatever he potentially wanted to switch in, but he decided to leave it as death fodder anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. So I'm going to bring in my Sableye here, and you know, Sableye is a pretty good check to most of his guys. Like, he can stall out a lot of his things with relative ease, and he goes to Nidoqueen. I'm thinking, you know what, Nidoqueen, I can deal with this, like, without resorting to Sableye and without resorting to stalling tactics, so I'm going to make a really just aggressive switch, and I want to get rid of this thing as quickly as possible. I know that an Earthquake from Banded Rhyperior is going to hurt anything that's left on his team, I believe. So I'm going to, apart from Azelf, of course, but, you know, basically what it does is it tempts him to go for the Ice Beam, think he's going to kill me. Obviously, Solid Rock's going to save me because Solid Rock is a great ability, and it allows me just to smack him with an Earthquake, kill off the Nidoqueen, and that's going to be the end of that thing. So, really good. Now, in comes Azelf, and at this point, none of my walls are really at an adequate place to switch in. He could have predicted Sableye and gone for Fire Blast, which is why I didn't want to go for that. But the second reason I didn't want to bring Sableye in is the fact that Toxic Spikes are now on the field, which is really going to inhibit Sableye quite a bit. So what I want to do is go to Roserade first, take those toxic spikes up, just suck them all up, and then go into Dusclops' death fodder, which will then afford me a safe switch into Sableye. So it's probably the best thing that I could have done in this situation. A lot of my guys are weakened at this point, and my walling core of Dusclops and Registeel are down. Sableye is kind of the last link in that core, and I need to save it. I need to keep it alive and keep it going, because this thing is going to be the key to my victory. It really is. I think I've got Roserade and this, and I'm not sure if I have my other thing left, because Rhyperior is dead, but I do have Darmanitan just for the late game if I do need that, but definitely Sableye is going to be a kingpin at this point. So what I'm going to do is, seeing this life orb is Azelfed. Yes, of course, this life orb is Azelfed. I'm going to try and life orb stall the thing, make sure that it just kills itself eventually, and recover up when I need to, substitute when I need to. Hopefully he'll miss a Fire Blast. Of course, his only move apart from U-turn and Psychic is Fire Blast, so he has to go for that, because obviously Psychic won't affect Sableye, and U-turn is going to give him the disadvantage because he won't have to be able to stay in, but Fire Blast is his only move that can potentially allow him to stay in and hit me. But he's constantly losing life orb, so he doesn't want to do that. So in comes Suicune, and I'm thinking, this thing is going to be a pain. I still have Roserade, and I could potentially go to that, to kill it, but I don't know if he has the Ice Beam or not, and I'm thinking he's just going to Ice Beam me, predicting Roserade. So I'm going to stay in here, hoping he is going to do that, and I see he does. I'm like, well, there's no hope in hell of me getting Roserade in here safely until either Sableye dies or this Suicune dies from Sableye killing. So what I actually decide to do is stay in here with Sableye, and I'm going to jump ahead like at least 15 or so turns. I'm not sure how many it was, but it was a long time, like at least 10 to 12 to 15 turns, because this Suicune's at full health now, and boom, there we go, it's now dead, almost. As you can see, that entire time was me stalling with Sableye to take it from full health to death with burn and confusion alone. So that is essentially what happened. Now, just speeding through this really, because at this point, a lot of his things can't really touch Sableye. I'm going to miss that Will-O-Wisp first, get a second one off on the Cobalion as he Swords Dances, but, Burn, Confusion plus Swords Dance is not a potent, it's not the best combination for a Cobalion to be situated in. So, he's going to be able to Swords Dance again, thinking, he's going to be able to do something to me, but I just have the opportunity at this point to set up a sub, which I'm going to do, take that free opportunity, Confuse Ray him again, and just wait for him to kill himself. Really, this is all I'm waiting for, and he does hit himself with Confusion, takes himself out, and Sableye just doing some work here. It really is just the kingpin, and living life as Sableye does. But Azelf is going to not get confused, it's going to miss the first Fire Blast, but it's going to be able to die from U-turn, recoil, Life Orb, and his last is Heracross, so all I have to do is Confuse Ray it. I decided to Confuse Ray and not sub, because I wanted to give him the chance to get the satisfaction of killing my Sableye, which he does actually get in the end, because Mega Horn's gonna land the hit and kill Sableye. But yeah, there, as you can see, I lost a lot of my guys pretty early on, because he was applying a lot of pressure, and I needed to stop stuff, so I brought out the thing that stops stuff. It's called Sableye, and it stalled the Suicune from full health to death, as well as taking on multiple other things, because that's what it does. It's really just, it's stupidly good. It just is. So yeah, that's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like rating. That would be very much appreciated. You can check all my social links at the Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr, respectively, all down below in the description. And until next time, I will say sayonara. Peace.